Good morning, everybody. How are we all on this fine Thursday? Hope we're all doing well. Still enjoying the success from last night. What a game in all sorts of manners. And we'll get into that today. But before we do, please like and subscribe. It all helps. Still trying to build. Be much appreciated if you just press that button, maybe add a comment, and join the party. Well, guys and girls, Napoli 2, Chelsea 3. What do we think? Bit of a mixed one. Some of the performances were good. Some of the performances were terrible, but we're sort of used to that recently, aren't we? Let's start with the lineup. Most of it I sort of expected. I can't really argue with it. Apart from the defence, I don't know who decided to choose that defence. Probably AI, probably data. I'm not sure if Rosinho would have done that or not. There were reports that he's done sort of similar thing with playing with one centre-back at Strasbourg in the past. Well, we don't want it. It didn't work last night. And we'll get into that as to why. Well, we kicked off. Nothing really happened for a while. We were slightly up on possession, slightly up on attempts at goal. Not a great deal between the two sides. We looked quite comfortable. And then lo and behold, we get a penalty. It was a penalty in my books. Enzo stepped up and once again slotted it away nicely. But I want to talk about what happened after that. All of a sudden, we just disappeared out the game. Our passing was absolutely dreadful. We couldn't find another Chelsea player. Everybody was giving the ball away. I mean, overall, João Pedro had a good game, thanks to a really good second half performance. But in that first half, even he was chesting it down, laying it off, or the ball was hitting him and running back to a Napoli player. Caicedo giving the ball away, Enzo giving the ball away, James giving the ball away, everybody, Fofana, Neto, for example, giving the ball away consistently, and they weren't hard passes. Even the short, easy passes were going straight to Napoli players. It looked like we had 50p pieces for feet, or they were playing in shoeboxes and not football boots. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden then Napoli were on us. And that defence I'm talking about with James and Fofana. James isn't a centre-back. As much as I love the guy and as much as I think he's a Chelsea legend and proper Cobham and all that, and he's mustard, he's not a centre-back. And it proved it. Because after we went 1-0 up, we were so leaky at the back. There were constant runners. I was sitting there watching the match. And I'm screaming seconds before it's happening. Watch the runner, watch the runner, watch the runner. I lost count how many times I was seeing runners moving. If I can see it, and I'm not a professional footballer, why can't these guys on the pitch? There's 11 pairs of eyes between them. There's 22 eyes watching this and doing nothing about it. Standing there like statues. Constantly runners coming through, whether it's out right wide and getting round the back or through the middle into the box. This is what happens when you don't have two proper centre-backs there. And Fofana, mate, it's probably one of the worst games I've seen you play. Cucurella was getting caught again, constantly. I've said this recently. He's not being as crisp and clean in his performances as we normally expect from the geezer. Constantly getting round the side, constantly getting round the back of the fella, losing his players all the time. So many times they were in space. And it was happening on the other side with Gusto, getting round the side, round the back of him, getting through into the box. I mean, that first goal, when they pulled it back to 1-1, Caicedo not winning the challenge, losing the ball. And then he's carried on running with the Napoli player. And then tries to foul him on the edge of the box. Anyone noticed that? Tried to get a challenge in. Could have got himself in more trouble with discipline problems. Missed the challenge. And then it rolls to Fofana. Now, then Fofana gets turned so easily. Vergara, great goal. I give him that. Nice bit of Maradona there. But Fofana got turned so easy. He tried to commit himself too early instead of holding him up and maybe working him out wide and away from goal or at a tighter angle. He's overcommitted, got turned, Giza scores. Fofana, you made an error there, mate. You're better than that. And then for the second goal, it's out on the left-hand side. Gusto, nowhere near it. Cross comes in. Fofana's asleep. Hoyland gets ahead of him. I mean, Hoyland, not a well-beater, is he? Even Manchester United didn't want the geezer. Fofana, you was asleep for that, mate. Not awake. Your mind somewhere else. Not concentrating. Not behaviour discipline, but football playing sense discipline. Very poor. Very slow in the old grey matter, mate. So you cost us there. So your first half, mate, was absolute dire. So yeah, constantly, that defence, leaking. Worse than the Titanic at the bottom of the Atlantic, you know what I mean? So please, AI, directors, Rosinia, whoever, don't pick a defence like that again, because that first half proved it doesn't work and you shouldn't have done it. Should have had Trev there, and maybe James on the right and Gusto on the bench. Simple as that. But anyway, we're 2-1 down because their defence is all over the shop. It was embarrassing. I was. Almost lost my voice. I lost my mind at the end of that first half. So we go to half time. We come out second half. They looked like they started sitting back a little bit. And then we started pushing at them. But at the same time, even though we got a bit more control in the second half, we didn't create anything. Nothing. We weren't getting into the box, weren't getting strikes at goal. Nothing. We were working the ball around. It was more of that sideways, backwards, forwards, sideways, backwards, forward stuff. And it was quite frustrating, even though we were in control. We weren't in too much trouble at this stage down the other end in our defence, thankfully, because that first half was enough. And then all of a sudden, James to Esteval to Palmer, pushes it in. Pedro then turns, flicks it with his right foot and turns onto his left foot. Bang. Rocket into the top corner. João Pedro, mate, much better second half from you. What a goal. Absolute amazing, mate. That was just like the Club World Cup, your performances there. We know you can do it. You need to do it more often. But I think he plays better when Palmer's on the pitch. They've got a connection. They showed it at the Club World Cup and they've shown it at stages this season when Palmer has actually been on the pitch. So get them two working together more. I think Pedro up front with Palmer behind him is better than having Delap on the pitch, to be honest. And he seems to be in hot goal scoring form, João Pedro. Touch wood. It continues, especially against the Hammers on Saturday. It's brilliant. And then after that, it started looking like the way the game was going, it started looking like they wanted to draw, the two teams. And I'm thinking, well, a draw's not good enough for Napoli. A draw's not good enough for Chelsea. And it carried on, and it carried on. Wasn't really a lot happening again, even though we looked in control still. But then all of a sudden, Cole Palmer again. He made a massive difference to the game coming on at half-time. There were times when he didn't do so well in that second half, and there were times where he did do well. But let's talk about the positive side of that. The times he did do well, 2 assists. Second assist, lovely little dink around the Napoli player for João Pedro to run onto. And I'm thinking, please don't do what a Neto does. Please don't do what a Garnacho does. Keep running, because they will normally run, stop, and then push the ball back. I'm screaming at the telly, go, go, go. And he went, and he went, and he went. And then what a clinical finish at the far post. Brilliant strike. 2 excellent goals. 2 different goals, but 2 excellent goals. João Pedro, second half, mate, mustard. You was hot. Well played. Let's have more of it. We know you got it. I've said I know you've got it before. We want to see it more often. When you're doing that, mate, we'll fall in love with you. Simple as that. Keep doing it. But yeah, and then a little bit later on, I mean, there were substitutes all over the shop. I'm not really going to go into them. But I mean, at one stage, Gittins was brought on. Why? Garnacho should really have come on before Gittins in a game of that magnitude and importance. Anyway, Gittins was on. And then Gittins gets hauled off again. I mean, I do actually feel sorry for him. He thought, oh, I'm going to get some minutes in the Champions League. Next minute, he's yanked off. Badiashile was brought on. Some people were saying that was a good idea. Well, we were in the ascendancy. We were at no stage at that time in trouble defensively. But bringing on Badiashile, we sat back a little bit again for the last 5-10 minutes or so. So taking on more pressure than we had been when we were more on the offensive. We worked that one out. Anyway, I mean, Trev had come on. He was doing well. We should have had him in to start with. Pulled off a good block from across. But we're 3-2 up. We're into added on time. The ball drops to Garnacho just outside our box. And at that stage, you know, just lamp it upfield. Get rid of it. Holds onto it. He's got a man on his arse. Some men coming towards him. And it gets taken off him. Gets pinched off him. Oof it, mate. Do a JT into the stands or up towards the corner flag. Anything. No. Gets dispossessed. They cross it in. And that cement-booted rat. And I'm thinking, that split second, no, not him. Not the cement-booted rat. He hits it. Sanchez pulls off a lovely save. Well done, Robert. There's at times, mate, you look like a really good goalkeeper. But we all know you've always got that little mistake in you, and they're normally costly mistakes. I mean, overall, you did pretty well last night. Some of your kicking still needs working on. Some of that was a bit poor. Some going straight out of play or constantly going towards their players and stuff. Get that sorted, mate, because your shot saving is excellent. I can't knock you for that. So overall, good game for you. So yeah, we could have thrown it away at the last there through Garnacho pissing about with the ball. Get rid of it, mate. But we got through. The final whistle goes. The relief, the joy. Well done, boys. Well done. 3-2 away at Napoli. I also want to say about Neto in that first half. That was a good substitution. Whether it's Rosinia's decision or AI or whatever, it was a good decision to take him off and bring Palmer on, because Palmer gave us that little bit extra when we needed it. 2 class moments, bosh, 2 assists. But Neto, that's probably as poor as I've ever seen him. And he hasn't been great recently. He's been very inconsistent. He's been more down than up recently. And that was shocking. Absolutely shocking. All it's going to do is just get all these haters on his back even more. Now, I think there is talent there. He has shown it at times. Again, he's extremely inconsistent. But last night, that was poor, mate. You and Fofana were probably the worst 2 players for us last night. Shocking. I mean, there's some others. Like I said, Caicedo, his passing was poor. Enzo was quite all right. He was energetic, but he still gave the ball away a few times. Everyone gave the ball away a few times. Cucurella getting lost wide. Gusto getting caught out wide at times. Needs improving. Don't play that defence again. It's, overall it's a mixed performance. But let's be positive. We won 3-2 away at Napoli. We don't do well in Italy. I think that's probably only our 3rd time we've ever won in Italy. So well done, boys. A win's a win. A little bit unconvincing still. Performances still need sharpening up. I mean, Napoli, 25 games or something at home, unbeaten. I know it's not probably their strongest team, but you've still got to go and beat the team you're facing, the team in front of you. And we done it. We started off okay, went 1-0 up, we went poor, then we were 2-1 down. And how many times have we seen we've then been smashed and turned over? because we haven't been able to pull our socks back up and then stand back up on our feet. Atalanta, for once, that was one occasion. Just this season, we folded, didn't we? So, boys, for getting your game back in order and coming back, excellent. 2-1 down, then to win 3-2, brilliant. Let's have more of that. Or in fact, let's just not go behind at all and just smash teams. That would be nice. But for last night, brilliant. You come back well. But don't get too excited. Okay, all these flip-flops. Need to calm down still. This is still the beginnings of a new trip under a new gaffer. So don't start, jumping out and having a party yet, because it's still early days. Behave yourselves. All right, calm yourselves down. Despite all that, it doesn't change the fact of the horrors behind the scenes again, and it won't. We all know at the end of the day, the main problem is Blueco, clear leg. Win, lose or draw, Blueco out. Doesn't matter about the results. Okay? That's the team. That's the gaffer. Support them. Don't support what's behind the scenes. The owners, the directors, the AI, the data, and all the other scamming shit that goes on. Okay? Results don't change the fact of what the problem really is at the end of the day. But for the boys on the pitch, nice one. Let's have some more of that. So yeah, we're through automatically the last 8. I have seen that when we next play, it could possibly be against PSG or Newcastle. Brilliant. That's what you get for qualifying automatically. Possibility of playing against the reigning Champions League champions. Wonder who Arsenal get, eh? So that's that. Let's talk about Rosinia. My thoughts. Look, decent start. He's had a couple of toughy ones in there with Arsenal in the Carabao Cup and last night away in Naples. We lost the Arsenal one, so that's not a positive. But last night is one very small positive. Nothing over the top, nothing major, just a small positive. You need to build up a lot more of them before people really start thinking you could be good enough at Chelsea. So yeah, decent start. Could have been worse. Could have been better, but could have been a lot worse. But for me, it's still too early. I still haven't changed my mind with Rosinia. Absolutely not. Not yet. Far, far too early. But I will support him as he's there and the team. But I will only support the team and him. Okay? And Rosinia's backroom staff. But I still haven't seen nowhere near enough to believe he is the right man for the job. In my mind, he shouldn't have been employed. We all know why he was employed. But in my mind, I still don't believe he is the right man for the job. Hasn't got the qualifications. Hasn't got the experience. Hasn't got the elite talent as yet. Maybe down the line. But not now. I still don't believe he's the right man. In my mind, he's still a yes man puppet. He's still controlled by the owners. He's still a PE teacher in my books. He's still an apprentice. He's still learning. I know they say that everyone's always still learning, but he's still proper learning, He is a PE teacher at the minute. And he's controlled. So, yeah. Maybe over time, in the near future, hopefully, he's done enough to change my mind. Because if he's done enough to change my mind, that means there's more success for the club and the team. Now, if there's success, And I mean elite success, Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, which we're nowhere near. But if we start getting those in the future, if we start winning games and winning games well and turning big sides over on a consistent basis, my mind might sway. But it's going to take a lot of work. I think the same with everybody. Everybody should give them a little bit of a chance. But you can still have your... what's the word? You can still have your own thoughts at the same time, which is still not good enough. But maybe if he changes my mind, that means we've done well. But at the moment, he hasn't, and I still don't think he's good enough. But anyway, great win. Napoli, we've qualified. Let's enjoy this win. Can't really argue with that. Well done, boys. That's all I can say. But it's just one match. We've got many more to come and many more to go and try and win. Let's see what happens. Again, like and subscribe, guys. Press the buttons. Help us out. Let's move away from that. Sterling. Raheem Sterling. Gone. Hasta la vista. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Adios, amigos. Gone. Mutual agreement, apparently. Paid off. Ta-ta. Where's he going to go? Where's the geezer going to go? I mean, he's been at us for 3.5 years. Ain't played since May 2024. So it's been a while. 18 months left on his contract. But it's done. Dusted. And screwed up. Thrown into the fire. He's now a free agent. Where's he going to go? Does anyone really care? He's gone. It stinks, but, you know, there's your bags packed. Get in the taxi. Gone. Will he stay in London? Will he stay in England? Will he go abroad? Will he still be demanding ridiculous wages? Or is he 30, 31 now? I don't think he's really in a position and at a level where he can demand stupid wages. He's going to get a bit of a payoff from Chelsea. He's not short of a penny or two anyway. He's a multi-millionaire. Go and play some football, mate. Don't worry about the money anymore, because you don't need to worry about the money anymore. Go and play some football. Don't rip any other clubs off, because you're not worth 300 plus K a week. Not anymore, mate. I'm not even sure you were to begin with. But hey-ho. So that's him gone. See you later, mate. Paez. Kendry Paez. What's happened with this kid? We got him with Esteval Willian. They were supposed to be the future, possible potential in eliteness. Well, we've seen bits of that from Esteval, but for Kendry Paez, it's all gone a bit Pete Tong, isn't it? It's all gone down to Swanee a little bit. So he's come back from Strasbourg. He's going to, where is he going to? River Plate. So off to River Plate for the rest of the season, 6-month loan. Let's just hope he can start behaving himself. I mean, you've got Esteval Willian, who's a God-fearing man. He's very religious, massive family man. Say man, he's 18 years old, but young man. And then you've got Kendry Paez, who likes going out and having a party. Part of me says, you know, don't be a hypocrite, Kel. Because when I was 18, I loved me women. I loved the beer down the pub. I love coming out of the pub at closing and going over to the nightclub and enjoying myself. But the difference is, I didn't have the talent and the prospects of a great career in football. That's the difference. I had an office job for a publishing company. A bit different to having what could be a magnificent career ahead of you. So you need to behave yourself, mate. Maybe keep your winkle in your pants. Stop sinking the shots and the pints at the bars and stuff. Stop going out till silly o'clock in the morning and getting up to all sorts. Concentrate on your career, because that will define you, mate, as a person and as a man. So 2 guys we got with probable talent, but completely 2 attitudes. So he's off to River Plate. Good luck to you, mate. Sort your head out. You know, get your life in order. Concentrate on your football. Leave the women alone. Leave the clubs alone. Leave the parties alone. So, that's that. Let's just talk about some positives and negatives again about the game. Let's go back to that briefly. Fofana, poor. Neto, poor. But big thumbs up to Palmer again. Didn't do a massive amount, but he did the right things at the right time when we really needed them, and that come through class and talent. I mean, the kid, I call him a kid. He's in his early 20s now, but compared to me, he's a kid. The lad, he still doesn't look anywhere near fit. You know, when he's playing, he still looks like he's just got up with hangover from a good skimful and a good bender the night before. Whether his mind is in the right place or not, I don't really know. But his body's not. He looks very dishevelled and tired. But we all know he's got this injury still. So, but even with that, he pulled off the right moves last night, didn't he? And João Pedro, mint, mate, mint. I mean, that rocket of a shot, fantastic. And then the calmness and coolness and the clinicalness of that second goal as well. Keep it going, dude. Can't argue with that. So that's that. What else have I got? Oh, will there be any more transfer news? What are we going to get? Are there going to be any truths, or is it just going to be more lies and more PR rubbish? To tell you the truth, I'm so sick and tired of the shit coming out the club. I'm not really that interested. If something concrete comes up, I'll report on it. But apart from that, if it's just the normal waffle nonsense that we get from Blueco and all their brown envelope friends, you can keep it. I just fed up with it. We've had it for 3.5 seasons now, this bullshit from corrupt Blueco that we've got running our club. So again, win, lose or draw, it's Blueco out. Not having nothing, none of it. Not having none of it. Get out. We got West Ham on Saturday. Let's keep concentrating, keep working. Don't get complacent. Don't win last night and then go and lose to West Ham on Saturday, which is something we've been quite good at recently. Getting a good result and then the next game against someone that's pony, throwing it away. West Ham is shit. There's no excuses. I know we played last night. I know there'll be a bit of tiredness and what have you. Get in the physio room, get in the saunas, get massages, all sorts. You know what I mean? Just get your bodies right for Saturday. Don't throw it away Saturday. Because, you know, the joy we got through winning last night would just be sucked out of us on Saturday if we go and lose. So we've got to go and beat West Ham. All right, Saturday. But that's another thing. So that's that, really. Just a quick going over. Like and subscribe, guys. If I hear any concrete news, I'll be back informing you of what's happening. But if I think it's lies and shit, I'm just not going to waste my time or your time with it because we've had enough time wasted, haven't we? There we go. Well done, Chelsea. Through to the last 16, qualified in the top 8. Nice one. Good result in Italy. But it's still Blueco out, Clear Lake out. Up the Chelsea. Keep the blue flag flying high. Have yourselves a great remainder of the day. I'll be back soon. Peace.